Hi everyone, Intuitive Edge here. So today I read in the news that the lawyers for Nick Sandmann, now some of you may remember him as the teenager wearing the MAGA hat at the March for Life rally, I think it was, anyway, in Washington, D.C., and there was a big scuffle between some different factions, and anyway, Nick Sandmann was the face of that event that got really distorted in the news and as to what really happened, and it was a big old mess. Anyway, his lawyers are filing a lawsuit against the Washington Post for $250 million. So I'm curious what is going to come of this lawsuit. So I shuffled up the cards and I'll be right back. Okay, so I shuffled up the cards. The first card, I get the Moon card. Now, back to my other little deck here. I'm using my kitty deck. This is the Moon card. This is the card of illusion. Can be things that are not always as they seem. It's in the world of illusion, basically. And this is the issue. And to me, this is saying the issue was an illusion. Like, not all the pieces were in place. Not all the facts were known. There were pieces of it that didn't line up or didn't make sense. The next question I have, what led up to this? And we have this too many choices card, I call this one. This is like too much going on and not enough truth to make decisions about what was happening at the time. So you have that on top of illusion. So too much going on, too much chaos, and the elusive illusion part of it. So what is happening now? We have this card. The image is a group, these cats are all sitting around a table and they're having a discussion. So this is probably indicative of what's happening now with the lawsuit being served. There's probably people gathering and figuring out. I did hear that the Washington Post is looking at mounting a countersuit or a rigorous defense, I think is what they said, a defense. So what is coming into view? We've got the Nine of Earth. This is a spotlight on values. And I'm wondering, is this, because this is about holding higher standards and high values and morals and doing what is morally right and valuably and and values. Morally right based on values. And that's on the future position, kind of what's coming up. So I think that's spotlighting what maybe the truth of what really happened that day. Now on this card of question of hidden concern, what do we need to know? We have the Ten of Sky. This is kind of a caution card. It's like you're being backed into a corner with nowhere to go, and you have basically you're at your rope's end. You're at your end, and there's nothing you can do. And I'm wondering if that is basically the Washington Post kind of being backed into a corner with this lawsuit. Like they don't really have an out. They probably should settle, I would think, but I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Last card is the outcome, and we have, it was reversed. We have the King, the Sky King. Now, Sky King reversed. Sky King is, to me, this represents strength of mind, being very sharp and quick and logical and in this case, you know, able to mount a defense, a reasonable defense. But as a reversal, I wonder, that could indicate some difficulty, possibly challenging. I don't sense it's going to go real well for the I think the Washington Post might have to either settle this, or I think they've kind of backed themselves into a corner with this other image of this card here. So I don't think it's going to go real well for them. I don't it did seem at the time that, you know, everybody jumped on this kid, down this kid's throat, and didn't really take the time to find out the facts before kind of dragging him through the mud. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to have a really easy time with this lawsuit. I may pull a couple extra cards on this. Let me check here. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple more cards with my other deck. I want to look at the lawsuit as far as the Washington Post is concerned, the challenge that the Washington Post has, and the likely outcome for the Washington Post. So what's going to be happening with the... Is this right? Okay. Wow, are we having a theme or what? Lost card. Lawsuit. The lawsuit for Washington Post perspective, it's gonna be a loss. The challenge is going to be the vortex. This is the devil card. This is being materially minded and not higher minded. Devil card can basically comes around when someone is rooted in survival and instinct rather than doing what's for the higher good and what's right. So that could be that's on the question of the challenge. So that may be a challenge for them. Now the outcome, we have the Magician card. So Magician card is about manifestation. It's about bringing things seemingly out of nothing and creating something. So I'm wondering if they're going to, wondering if this means that they're going to be bringing, I don't want to say countersuit, but it's like not a countersuit. That's not quite what I meant. The feeling I get is like the bringing an offer of some kind. So whether they're maybe going to settle, that might be worth looking at. So I think the overall lawsuit's going to be challenging for them. So they may have to come up with some sort of nice settlement. So that's my thoughts. Okay, thanks for stopping by my channel, and we'll see you next time. Intuitive Edge. Bye for now.